Fox NBA analyst Tristan Thompson. So, Tristan, coming to you first. Is AD clearly the best teammate LeBron's ever had?
Well, first, I'm the best teammate ever had. Let's not get this twisted. Hold on now. Let's set this straight, all right? Hold on now. I'm the best teammate ever had. But you know what? We're going to give AD his shine because, you know, we got the champagne showers going on. But, yeah, I'm going to say AD is his best teammate. And I'm not going to say it's because of basketball. I'm saying it's because it's his attitude and his mindset. I think whenever, you know, obviously LeBron James is the best player in the world, and we all know that. What makes AD special is that, listen, at the end of the day, when you play with LeBron, no matter if you score 60, if you score 100 points, LeBron is going to be the story at the end of the day. And you got to be able to not have an ego and let it bother you. And I think AD has realized that. And I think that's why they actually mesh so well, because that's what everyone's talking about. How they together so quick? How's it working? And that's what it shows right there. And, you know, no disrespect to Kyrie and D-Wade, but it just works better just how basketball is. If you're a coach, Marcellus could be the coach right now for the Lakers.
Very true.
And to make them two work, it's easy. Put one on the block, one to the three-point line. It's your turn, my turn. And that's why guys like Shaq and Kobe or Shaq and Pay, those guys are so dynamic because you got the big in the paint and you got the guard on the wing. So that's why it's worked so good, and that's why everyone's been talking about it. And that's why I think he's the best teammate he's ever had.
All right, here we go. This is why he is now with his best teammate in AD. It's not only because he's complimentary in his abilities, but like you said, it's his deference. This is the first time I think LeBron has found himself with a dynamic duo teammate where the other guy doesn't think he's better than LeBron James. He just knows that he's different than LeBron James. Let's take you through Dwayne Wade's situation. Even though Dwayne Wade was a champion when LeBron James was not a champion, LeBron James was a better basketball player in Miami. But that was Dwayne Wade's house. It was in Wade County. So LeBron James was like, man, how do I figure this out? The Tetris psychologically with Dwayne Wade. And they struggled that first year in figuring that out. You fast forward to a Kyrie Irving who was like, I was holding it down when you left Cleveland. Holding what down?
Now, he wasn't holding down much.
What they was holding down.
But that does, see, this is the difference. Champions, I'm hearing this a lot. Champions are great, and we respect you in a different column. But all NBA, all-star players, they also feel like they got some cockiness to them, too, because they know they can do it by themselves. Kyrie was saying, our team is not good, but trust me, I know I'm a beast. And it was a second there where LeBron James and Kyrie had their friction. Not with AD. AD not only upstairs understands his role, but let's look at it on the court. In terms of who he is, LeBron's second all-time PER. Who's third, Acho? AD. Where's Dwayne Wade? 22nd. Where's Kyrie? 33rd. So just in basketball efficiency, they're different. But when you talk about adding that to the intangibles and the fact that they can absorb each other properly on the court and off the court, that's why he's with his best teammate.
I agree with both of y'all. The problem with this question is so many people hear us saying that AD is better than Kyrie. Or even worse, more opposed, AD is better than D-Wade. That's not the question, nor is that what we're answering. The AD that LeBron got is better than the Kyrie or the D-Wade that LeBron got. Because remember, D-Wade was really good with LeBron for about a season and a half.
Yep.
Kyrie, he made big shots, but you can't put Kyrie in the same breath as AD, not on a defensive end particularly, and on an offensive end, AD can just do more than Kyrie can do. But you can talk about it or you can show people about it. Let's show up the full screen, LeBron's title teammates. Just look at the numbers. Postseason averages, AD, more points than any of them combined. Rebounds, AD significantly more. Then assists, the fact that AD is only one behind, he's in the conversation. Blocks, AD more than all of the above. So when you even look at the cumulative force that AD is, it is very, very simple. AD statistically is the best teammate, and also AD, as far as the lack of ego, makes him the best teammate as well.
Yeah, and I think, the numbers look great. And yes, AD's numbers are better than Kyrie's and D-Wade. And obviously AD's in his prime and Kyrie was young and D-Wade was old because that Pat Riley, wore his little baby knees out. But I think the most important thing is just the mental part of this whole thing, why it works, is because, listen, at the end of the day, in the NBA, and this is something that's a problem with NBA players and I think probably athletes in general, is just because we both get max contracts don't mean we're looked at the same way. Listen, at the end of the day, and that's something that guys got to realize, that's something that's hurting the game right now, is that because we both max, it don't mean that. Listen, I remember Rich Paul told me when LeBron came back to Cleveland, he said this. He said, Double T, you know, you guys don't win a championship, but once you guys start winning a championship and guys get paid, there's going to be a wedge that comes between your team. And I was like, so how do I make myself an asset to that? And he said, you know what, just do what you do. Yes, I was a young player. I wanted to be an all-star. But I said, you know what, for me to be valuable to this team and actually have a chance to win a championship, I got to play my role. And that's what I did. And I think what happened to our team in Cleveland, you saw, is that as we started winning, there was a wedge between our team. And I think when AD went to the Lakers, Rich said, hey, Double T, remember that conversation I told you about? It's going to work in LA because AD come from a household where they're both on the same page. AD want to win, and he want to help LeBron be the best player he can be.
Tristan, let me ask you.
That's also why I would say he's best teammate.
Let me ask you, take us into those locker rooms, at least mentally, figuratively, because I think a lot of the fans at home that didn't play sports at all or at a high level don't understand why it is what you're saying. What is it that makes there be a rift or a wedge come in when LeBron is balling, but Kyrie is balling too? Why is it that it's hard for two superstars to coexist? Take us there.
I think it's difficult sometimes because, like you said, you know, with LeBron coming back and coming back to Cleveland, and for us young guys, you know, we were, you know, putting up numbers and we were looking good, but obviously we weren't winning no games. So for it to work, yes, you know, there's some nights where either K-Love, could be K-Love too. K-Love scored 30 or Kyrie scored 30, and LeBron might only have 25 that night, but the headlines on Talk Sports TV is about, you know, LeBron carrying the Cavs. And you know, as a young player, and you know that when you go home and you're around your circle, if your circle is not saying what's best for the team and probably might be saying what's best for you, that causes a wedge between your team. I mean, it happened with Shaq and Kobe. It happened with Shaq and Penny. It happens, but it's just with AD, it's much different because obviously I think it's a big part of it's having the same agent because, you know, agents play are one of those people in your ear that be telling you nonsense too, and we know all about that. So put them on the same page and let them understand you guys are better together than going against each other. And that's why it's worked between them.
Obviously, the results, they just won a championship in their first year together. But we need to really highlight where it works the most, and it's on the defensive side of the ball. Let's look at this full screen right here of defensive win shares, and look at LeBron James this year, 9th. Look at him last year in the injury campaign, 40th. Look at him before he got to the Lakers. Good Lord, 335th, 77, 20th. That was a championship year, 31st. You can keep going back and almost see the correlation between when LeBron's in the top 20 defensively, all of a sudden that's a championship year for him. But let's get to a deeper layer that we didn't really touch. That LeBron James, for the first time in his career, finally chose a duo over a big three. When LeBron left Cleveland the first time, it was LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. When LeBron went back to Cleveland, it was LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love. This time he said just me and AD. You know what it did? It simplified the acreage on the court. LeBron was known for guarding 1 through 5 before and would sometimes be forced to do it. And then you get to the Lakers this year, LeBron was able to just guard 1 through 3, basically. And AD said, I don't like playing the 5, but I will, but 4 and 5 is me. LeBron have more confidence with your old butt out there on the perimeter guarding whoever, because I got your back here, big dog. And that's been the biggest difference for LeBron and for the Lakers.